So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like lately the VR11 has been becoming a lot more accessible, whether it be from those hidden rooms in the Dark Aether or just from completing a tier 3 contract. I seem to be getting my hands on these things a lot more lately, so let's get an Elder Sigil and go head on into the Dark Aether and see how easy it is for a solo player to get all of those classified schematics here in Season 2. But with that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, consider rocking that like button, man, and subscribing to the channel. We just hit 12,000 subscribers and we're already on the road to 13, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support lately. So if you guys are like me and just kind of like to run around solo most of the time, maybe you just got your hands on a VR11 case from doing some contracts out here in the red zone, or maybe you just did the regular Dark Aether with a bunch of people or something, but that thing paired along with the Scorcher case is gonna make doing this Dark Aether run incredibly easy. Plus we got this dog bone in our back pocket just in case we run out of self revives. Also, we might end up just popping this thing because it gets a little bit hectic during that escort mission. And as you guys can tell from the backpack coming in here, we're definitely going to maybe be a little bit over prepared, but that's never going to be a bad thing, especially when you guys are running solo and you don't want to lose what you got on you. But almost everything that we're bringing in here honestly does have a purpose. I'm going to be using all of like the monkey bombs and stuff to do those ether extractors. We got a turret mod to put inside of that turret for along this escort mission here, which is what we're going to be doing first here in the Dark Aether. I usually like knocking this one out of the way first when I come in here, just because I know if I can get this contract done, then the rest of them will most likely be a breeze. Now sometimes when you start this escort mission, you can get lucky and there won't be a mega abomination over here, but most of the time he is over here, and for me, yeah, he's here. And of course he tried beaming me as soon as I go over to this escort thing, but we're just gonna dip behind the wall and make sure that those beams don't hit us. And I actually do have a plan for him. As long as we can get this thing over to that very first turret, it's usually there. Sometimes it doesn't spawn in right there, but usually it is. And if it's not, there's gonna be another one that's just up the street. There also is a couple ammo caches that you can refill your decoy grenades around, so if you need to use a couple of those just to get them off of this thing for a second, you can do that. And I do believe in this run here I had so many extra like monkey bombs and stuff that we sacrificed a couple of those during this escort mission just to make sure that we get through safely here. Now another thing that I would usually like to do, but I didn't have one on me in this run, is I would put a sentry gun on top of this thing. That just kind of helps keeping those zombies off of here. But what I'm going to be using mainly in here is the Scorcher. Now the plasma for this thing, or the damage that the Scorcher actually puts off, is great for keeping those zombies off of the vehicle. And there is a nice little stretch of land in between the ammo caches here, so just be sure you're stretching out the ammo that's in your VR11 strictly for repairing the vehicle. I mean, you can shoot a few zombies here or there just to kind of create some decoys and stuff like that, maybe clear out some zombies for you, but I would try to mainly focus on using that for the vehicle. Also, because for picking up an ammo off the ground for some reason does not replenish the ammo for the VR11. I don't know why that is. I think it's kind of stupid. Also, if you ever have to, you can stand directly in front of the ACV and it's still just gonna push you along. It won't hurt you or anything like that. Like I had the Mega Abomination right behind me here and he was trying to shoot me with his beams. I just ducked in front of this thing and just let it push me along. Also, yeah, having the golden armor and the Aether blade are really gonna help you for doing this Elder Dark Aether, especially if you're solo. I mean, finding armor in here can honestly be a bitch sometimes, and having that just infinite like boomerang Aether blade that you can constantly throw like every 3 seconds to get 3 zombies that are in your immediate area away from you is just honestly a lifesaver. So if you have to, make a couple of runs inside of the regular Dark Aether before you decide to come in here. Not that you can't get these things done without them, but it is going to be way easier on you, trust me. But I do love the damage that the Scorcher is actually putting out now. I think if they were to just put this thing through one more buff, I think this would probably be one of the best weapons to use in the game. I mean, technically it already is one of the best weapons in the game, especially for the traversal and everything like that, but I mean, if they just put this thing through one more damage buff, I would think this thing would be right up there with the VR11, maybe even better than the VR11, just because of all the traversal and the damage that it's doing. This thing is crazy. Now, it has been a while since I've attempted to do this Elder Dark Aether run completely solo, especially doing this escort mission here, and I don't remember it being this intense in here, so just a fair warning for you guys, especially if you're coming in here solo, just be prepared. Now, I think it was a little bit towards the end of this escort mission where I just decided, you know what, fucking, I'm gonna go ahead and pop that dog bone just in case. Not only will he help me if I go down, but these dogs actually make for great decoys and just kind of distract the zombies away from the vehicle and also away from yourself. We actually ended up using all of our monkey bombs too, but that's alright. We have quite a few cashmeres to get these ether extractors done, and we still got our decoys, so I'm really not worried about it, and we can replenish our decoys. So we're gonna be on our last little stretch here with the escort, and this is where things just get absolutely insane. insane. This is where you're really going to want to stay on top of that vehicle. Don't necessarily mean standing on top of it, I mean just staying on top of the health, like really watching that health, because you'd be really surprised on how fast that this thing can go from 100% health to just completely destroyed in here. I feel like this last little stretch here, especially when this thing stops and it starts to do its last little thing, like that is the apocalypse here in the Dark Aether. There's just going to be so many zombies and manglers and a mega abomination. They're all going to be on this little stretch of street right here, and everybody's going to be trying to explode this vehicle. Oh man, it's like hell in here in the Dark Aether. That's why I usually say if you can get this contract done first, then usually the rest of the Dark Aether run is going to be a breeze for you. Heal this thing one last time. Now we got 3 more rounds left in this VR11, and I think that's going to be just about enough. This thing should be done right here, and I do believe this is also around right where I went down in here. Now don't worry if you guys do go down, that is why we always bring in those extra self revives and that dog bone. That's just for moments just like this. I swear even the best of the best zombie players all go down. We all get caught off guard sometimes. It just happens. It always happens so fast too. Like you can literally just do a 180 and you just bap and all of a sudden you're on the ground. But look at that, guys. Our very first contract is down. Our escort mission is done, and honestly that's usually the hardest contract to get done in here, especially for solo players. So the rest of this should be smooth sailing. We got our dog bone schematic and we ended up getting a ether blade case, so I'll definitely take that. Now next we're just going to take our Scorcher case and we're going to boost straight over and grab this bunny that's on top of this building over here, and that's going to start our ether extractor contract. Now inside of this building down below, if you guys played Warzone, you guys should know there is an ammo refill station down there, then that'll replenish your decoy grenades. We're going to start this contract here, jump down, refill our ammo really quick, and then we're just going to use this Scorcher case and do what it does best and shoot around and get all of these ether extractors done. Now I usually try to save as much of my acquisitions and stuff as I can to help me out for my next contract, so what I'm going to do is I usually like to use a decoy grenade for this very first one, so I'll throw out my decoy grenade to get this first ether extractor done. Once I head off to the second one, I'm going to end up switching out my decoy grenades for one of the things that I have in my backpack, like either a monkey bomb or in my case right here I have a cashmere grenade, and I'm going to use those cashmere grenades to distract the zombies to get the rest of these ether extractors done, so that way I still have my decoy grenade and I can still go refill those after I'm done with this contract. So we're going to get this second one done right here, and there's going to be an insta kill up here, but honestly we're not going to care about that, especially with the weapons that we're carrying right now. Just get on over to this third one and get this one done. Now honestly I personally think these are the easiest contracts to do here inside of the Dark Aether, especially if you have that Scorcher case. You can just boost up to each one of these things, distract the zombies, and boom, you're done, you're good to go. Hell, most of the time during this contract you don't even have to use your weapon, you can just use your decoys and everything and you'll be just fine. So we ended up getting this very last ether extractor done, and what do you know, we ended up getting a dog bone out of here and we got that golden armor schematic. So it's going to be on to the very last mission here, which is going to be the holdout mission. Usually when I come in here after season 2 especially, I like to bring in a couple of sentry guns to set up in here just to kind of help me out, because it does get pretty hectic in here, especially when they like to spawn in those mega abominations, but this time we don't really got any of that, so I'm just kind of praying it open. Of course we do have the VR11, which is going to be nice for turning those zombies into my little helpers to kind of help me out in there. That's going to be one of my main plans, and then plus we do have a couple more of these cashmere grenades that I'm going to use when I absolutely need to. Now when I was boosting over here, I did notice that there was a lot of zombies that were chasing me in here, so I decided to pop my ether shroud when I got down in here, but for some reason it wasn't activating the P&D. It kept trying to glitch out on me. I was finally able to get this thing activated, and yeah, it's pretty much just going to be the same old thing that you would usually do when you come in here in the Dark Aether. You're going to be playing a lot on the sides and jumping over the railings when you think it's safe, using that ether blade whenever you get just in a corner, and also since you got the VR11, be changing a lot of these zombies because they're going to be acting as decoys. We even went ahead and popped the extra dog bone that we had on us just as an in case and a little bit of a cushion since we're in here, and I just kind of felt a little bit overrun, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think that the VR11 and the Scorcher are both honestly amazing, but the Wonderwaff does absolutely wonders for this contract. I really wish I would have had a Wonderwaff when I was in here. And those golden plates are absolutely lifesavers. I think the golden plates, it's between the golden plates and the ether blade are probably the best 2 schematics in the game. I don't know, what do you guys think? What are the best schematics in the game, or what's the best acquisitions for people to get? Personally for me, I honestly really have to go with probably the ether blade, but I don't know, man, that golden armor is honestly right up there as well, because there's a lot of things in this game I don't think would be really possible or would be way harder without them, like trying to fight that red worm solo. Oh, the golden armor did wonders wonders for me in there, that's for damn sure. I don't know, when we get the VR11 schematic, that might be another discussion, because this thing is just absolutely crazy, especially since all of the bosses. If you guys didn't catch my previous video, we actually just did a run where we killed all 8 bosses in a single game. I did all of this completely solo and with the VR11. So if you guys haven't seen that video yet, I'd highly advise you guys to go check it out, and I'd just greatly appreciate it. And what do you know, we got this contract done, and we did end up going down in here once, but that's alright. Like I said, that's what we brought in all these self-revives for, and it's been buffed up in here quite a bit, especially since season 1. The Dark Aether now is a little bit crazy. But in this contract, we got our Aether Blade schematic, so that makes all 3. We got all 3 of our classified schematics. Speaking of golden armor acquisitions, we got one of those as well. Now, I did go around and check all those wonder weapon rooms, but unfortunately, there wasn't one wonder weapon in any of the locked rooms in this game. I was very surprised about that, but we got the important things that I wanted to do for this run anyways, so we're gonna boost up to the extraction and get the hell out of here. If you guys still need to know where anything is in the Dark Aether, maybe you're struggling to find something, like if you don't know where all of those contracts are, like I was just running with some guys the other day and they didn't know where some of the contracts are, I'm gonna throw up this map on the screen right here, and it's gonna show you where all of the keys are, where all of the bunnies are to start those contracts. Almost anything you guys want to know about the Dark Aether or where anything is gonna be on these maps. So big shout out to MWZHUB.gg. I'm gonna have all their links down in the description. Go check those out. Not a bad run here, guys. Not a bad run here. Just looking in the backpack, we got some pretty good stuff, mainly those classified acquisitions. And if you guys didn't have these before, hopefully you can come in here and try this out and get them for yourself. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video, guys. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed me some love and support. Thank you guys again. Sure to drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.